Hello! My name is Whisker. I am an adventurous, curious, handsome, orange tabby cat seeking exciting journeys and new friends. Join me on my escapades across the United States as I explore different cities, meet interesting people, and get into comical situations. My owner isn't too keen on me gallivanting around, so I often sneak out of the house and stow away in transport trucks to reach my destinations. It's not easy being a cat on a quest, but I love traveling and discovering the world beyond our humble abode. In today's adventure, I will be visiting my favorite cousin Mittens, who lives in Denver, Colorado. Here are 8 days in Denver as seen by an adventure cat. Day 1, Denver or bust. I was eagerly awaiting my journey to Denver. All thanks to this postcard I received from my cousin Mittens, who begged me to come over. She even drew a picture of herself on the back with her favorite spot in Denver. I couldn't wait to explore the mile-high city myself and discover what adventures awaited me there. I decided it was time to set off. I waited until my owner, Mrs. Patterson, left for her bridge club, then slipped out the cat flap and trotted down the lane. To my luck, Frank's food truck was parked outside our village, selling freshly caught fish. The smell of grilled salmon wafted through the air, and I couldn't resist sneaking in and curling up in a corner until my tummy was full. My journey to Denver would be long, but I was ready for an adventure. The mail truck rumbled through town, and I jumped into the back, where Mrs. Henderson, our mail carrier, dozed off while delivering packages. I had successfully hitched a ride on many trucks before, and I knew the trick to surviving the journey was to stay hidden and quiet. As the truck approached a small farm, I uncurled from my hiding spot and sauntered toward the driver's seat. "Hop out, little guy," Mrs. Henderson said kindly, noticing me for the first time. "Looks like you were coming with me."
She scratched behind my ears, then continued on our route.
When we arrived in Denver, I thanked Mrs. Henderson for the ride, then dashed away, eager to find my cousin and begin my adventures in the city. Day 2, trucks and tunas. After spending the night hiding between parked cars, I was getting hungry and worried that I might not find a ride with anyone willing to take me further west. Just then, a man walked by holding a tuna pie. The delicious smell led me to an open truck where I rubbed against the driver's legs, mewing plaintively. "Well, hello there,
Kitty cat?
Boomed the driver, a giant of a man with a booming laugh.
Where are you headed?" He lifted me gently, cradled me in his thick hands, and placed me on top of his many boxers. "To my boss at Bob's Bonkyard Supplies," he said, chuckling at my confused expression. "But don't worry, I'll get you close to downtown. Just stay still." I snuggled deeper into the soft boxers, happy to have a brief reprieve from the hard road. The driver kept me company, telling jokes and singing old folk songs. When we reached downtown Denver, I gave him a grateful lick on the hand and jumped down, eager to continue on my way. The sun was setting, so I hurried to the nearest gas station to ask for shelter for the night. A kind attendant named Gus noticed me and offered to let me curl up behind the counter. "Just stay quiet until morning and you'll be safe," he said.
As the hum of activity faded and the store went dark, I curled up on a pile of newspapers.
Feeling thankful for Gus's kindness and anticipating another day of discovery and adventure. Day 3, majestic mountains. I awoke early and slipped out the front door, just as the sun began to rise. I needed to get as far away from the city as possible, so I quickly found my way to a highway on the outskirts of town. Before long, I spotted a sign indicating the start of the Rocky Mountains. The cool mountain air felt refreshing on my fur. As I continued my journey, I climbed higher and higher, my heart pounding with excitement. The highway led me to a rest stop where I met some friendly bikers who shared their breakfast with me. "What brings you out here, little cat?"
Asked a biker with a handlebar mustache.
"I'm searching for my cousin Mittens," I replied, showing them her picture. "She lives somewhere around here, I think." The bikers were amused by my adventure and wished me luck. Then they roared back onto the highway, their engines echoing through the mountains. Following their lead, I continued on, my emerald green eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of Mittens. Soon enough, I spotted a gray tabby sitting on a rock overlooking the valley. I raced towards her, my heart pounding with joy. "Mittens!" I cried, leaping into her outstretched paws. "I found you!" She purred with delight, nuzzling her head against mine. "Oh, Whisker! I'm so glad you made it!" She meowed, her yellow eyes shining with happiness. "Now, let's go! I want to show you around my favorite places in Denver!" And so my adventures in the Mile High City truly began. Day 4, City Lights. Mittens led me through the bustling streets of Denver, explaining the best spots to find food and adventure. We started our exploration in Cheeseman Park, where we watched children play and dogs frolic in the off-leash area. Mittens introduced me to her favorite restaurant, Sam's No. 3, where I sampled some delectable salmon pita from a kind chef. "It's a cat's paradise here," Mittens purred, licking her chops. From there, we headed to Larimer Square, one of Denver's oldest shopping districts, where I admired the Victorian-era buildings and strolled along the sidewalk, taking in the atmosphere. As the evening descended, we made our way to the Denver Beer Garden, where I curled up under a table and listened to a group of musicians playing lively tunes. It was a perfect end to my first day exploring the city with my cousin. Day 5, Mountain Views. Today was a special day as Mittens had arranged for us to visit the nearby mountains with her humans, Casey and Marcus. Casey, a young artist with a passion for photography, welcomed me warmly and put a leash and harness on me for the first time. Though I wasn't sure what to make of it, I trusted Mittens and followed along as she led the way through the scenic hiking trails. As we ascended higher, the air grew colder and crisper, making my whiskers tingle. The trail led us to a viewpoint overlooking a vast expanse of mountains and valleys. The panorama was breathtaking, and I felt a sense of awe at the grandeur of nature surrounding me. As we made our way back, Casey and Marcus took turns carrying me on their backs when I got tired, and Mittens patiently walked alongside me, ensuring I was comfortable. By the end of the day, my paws were sore, and I longed for a cozy place to rest. Casey and Marcus invited me to join them for dinner at their home, where I enjoyed a delicious meal and a warm bed by the fireplace. Day 6, Urban Adventures. Our day began with a visit to the 16th Street Mall, a bustling hub of activity where streetcars ran above bustling crowds.
We rode the free shuttle bus, which rattled along the tracks, providing a unique mode of transportation.
The mall was adorned with festive decorations, creating a cheerful atmosphere. We stopped at the Denver Pavilions, an upscale shopping complex, where I admired the glass architecture and mingled with shoppers. In the afternoon, we headed to the Denver Art Museum, where I became an unexpected attraction for visitors. People stopped to admire my exotic good looks and intrigued by the sight of a well-traveled cat among the art enthusiasts. The highlight of our day was attending a baseball game at Coors Field, where the aroma of hot dogs and popcorn filled the air. Though pets weren't allowed inside, we found a perfect viewing spot on a nearby rooftop. From there, I enjoyed watching the game with the roar of the crowd echoing in the background. Day 7, Snow Day. When I awoke on my final morning in Denver, the world was transformed into a winter wonderland. A blanket of snow covered the ground, making everything sparkle like a freshly fallen dusting of powdered sugar. I raced to the window and watched as snowflakes danced outside. The thought of playing in the snow for the first time was exciting and filled me with childlike glee. As I bounced around Casey's small backyard, batting at the flakes, Mittens joined in the fun, chasing after me with playful swats of her paw. Soon enough, Casey and Marcus joined us, throwing snowballs and making snow angels as we reveled in the simple joys of a snowy day. Day 8, a fond farewell. Today was bittersweet as I prepared to return home. Despite the journey, my time in Denver had been filled with unforgettable experiences. As I cuddled with Casey and Marcus one last time, they presented me with a small bag of treats and toys to take home with me. Saying goodbye to Mittens was the hardest part, but she promised to visit me soon. Back in our village, I settled back into my routine. But nothing seemed quite as exciting as my adventures in Denver. Now, whenever I hear the sound of a train whistle, or feel the wind whispering through the trees, I remember my time in the Mile High City and dream of my next great adventure. If you liked this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This encourages the platform to promote more stories like mine to a wider audience. Your support